really hurt some people's feelings. So if you a little sensitive, you might as well turn this joint off right now. Okay? How you afraid to drop it down?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with Rebel Fitness. We are so glad you guys are here. I've got Shamar here with me, per usual. And we've got a little shorty episode for you today. But we're going to talk about something really important, we think. It has a lot, there's a lot of conversation happening about this in the health and fitness space, but there doesn't need to be as much conversation maybe about it.
So we're here to shorten the conversation.
So we're going to shorten the conversation literally today, okay? So we're going to talk about supplements, you guys, and that is a huge question that we get. Obviously, it's a huge market for it. In what we do in health and fitness. But we're going to answer the big, giant question that every single person has, which is, what are the supplements that are necessary for me to be successful in the health and fitness space?
What's the best? What's the top 3, the top 5? What do I need?
Yeah. So the first part of this really is what supplements are absolutely necessary. And this answer might surprise you. None.
Ooh. What?
That's it. Cut. Goodbye. We told you it was going to be short. Okay, you guys. So that's a real answer with a little bit of nuance in it. All right. But the reality is, do you need any supplements to be able to have a very successful health and fitness journey and hit goals and all that kind of stuff?
No, because if you did, they wouldn't be called supplements. They would be called essentials.
Boom.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So with that said, keep that in mind as we're talking about that today. All right. So supplements, supplemental. The main stuff that we're talking about in a health and fitness journey are eating, great food that's going to fuel you, exercising, moving your body, getting really good sleep, all of those things that go into the actual health and fitness / wellness journey that we talk about when we're on these podcasts. So the main thing that we want to keep in mind today with you guys with the supplement journey is they're not necessary, but they can really help. So they can give you a little bit of extra edge in some different areas. So we're going to talk about, like Shamar said, the ones that we love. We're going to talk about the ones that we think are absolute bullshit. We're going to talk about the ones that are kind of in the middle and you might need some discernment. But first and foremost, we're going to talk about the psychology of supplements, okay? Because y'all know I like some psychology. So first and foremost, the supplement industry is and this is the health and fitness supplement industry, is a $40 billion a year industry, okay? So that automatically tells you how much is out there, how much is swirling around. Every single person who is listening to this, watching this, us included, sitting here, we have bought a health and fitness supplement somewhere, somehow. Most likely, just as big of a percentage, if you've bought one, you've been duped by one, okay? And so we're going to talk about some of those today also and call some of those out and help you guys really cut through the fat on is this a supplement that I could ever even need? We're going to be yes or no on some of these for sure, okay? So keep in mind that the supplement industry is there to make money. It's there to market in any way, shape, or form that it can in order to get you to purchase it. And so I'm going to talk about some real significant examples and some supplements that I know you guys have questions on. Okay. So the first one that I want to talk about is detoxes. All right. So detoxes is always one that I get a little worked up about. So I'm going to try not to go too crazy. We've talked about these before, but detoxes usually are looking to get into liver talk, right? Okay. So you need to detox your liver. You need to your liver being backed up or not being able to, have a good detox is the reason that you're gaining weight, is the reason that you're, got a belly, you're holding fat.
Your gut is all out of whack, right? Your gut biome is unhealthy.
All of those things, okay? And so there's a handful of different trains of thought in this when it comes to, the science of it. And there's a giant group of people who are your liver doesn't need help detoxing. Like that's what it does 24 hours a day. It's
It always
literally
has.
what it was put in your body to do, right? And so that is where we tend to go naturally as Rebel Fitness, because we do believe that. We do believe that biologically you are made to do what you're supposed to do, and your body parts are going to do that as long as you are eating well. And I mean, and I'm not, again, this is not like clean or anything like that, but you're eating well, you're fueling well, you're eating enough so that your liver can function. It has enough calories to do what it needs to do. You're drinking enough water, you're exercising, you're doing all those things. Your lymph is moving really well. Then your liver should be able to do the things that it needs to do. Okay. So a detox is one of those things where at the end of the day, we kind of know what we are jumping into a detox for. And most of the time it is in an attempt to lose weight. And what do we know about most detoxes is that they are going to involve most of the time two pretty significant things. One is you're not going to eat hardly anything. And then two is you're going to take some type of supplement that is most likely going to keep you in the bathroom for the entire time that you're detoxing. Okay. And so at the end of that quote unquote detox, you're going to get on the scale. You're going to get a high every single day from that, you know, that number going down. You're going to get that skinny feeling in the morning. You're probably going to be able to fit into a pair of pants that you weren't able to before the detox because you have literally starved yourself for 3, 4, 5 days, and you are malnourished. Yeah. So expensive starvation. You probably paid $75 to $100 for this detox for whatever supplements are in there. And again, it's probably some, you know, if it actually has some liver stuff in it, there probably are a couple like little supplements in there that are beneficial, you know, to your liver. But at the end of the day, it's mainly going to be stuff that's just going to clear your gut out, and it's going to require you to drink a crap ton of water, maybe a lot of fiber, some psyllium, something like that. That's again just going to keep you in the bathroom for the entire time.
Yeah, super expensive diuretic, you know, super expensive diarrhea half the time.
That part. I was going to say that's more like it. And speaking of diuretics, that is the next one I wanted to talk about on here. So there's a company that has been marketing a lot lately. I've had a lot of members come into the gym and ask me about it. I'm not going to call them out specifically, but they have a marketing tactic that I think is really interesting and very similar to what a lot of these other ones do. This company is very holistic. Like they really, the way they market is very like family friendly. It's very female forward. They do a lot of, you know, marketing on hormones and different things like that. But they'll have a supplement. And again, it might be for hormone balance. It might be for something specifically for women that they're struggling with, like a stress one or something like that. But somehow they always bring these things back to, I feel like, weight loss. So it's the old thing, like when we started Rebel, it was like the way to market a gym and be successful is you have to tell people they're going to lose weight. That's the only way to do it. And I think supplement companies are in the same space of like, sales are down. Oh, we better add weight loss to this because that's automatically going to bump it up.
Or on the male side, add, you know, instant muscle gain or, you know, quick testosterone increase or whatever it is, right? Because it's different on either side. But yeah, they know the buzzwords that are necessary.
The quick word to get them some really fast sales to get it in there. And so, so for this in particular supplement, it kept coming across my feed over and over and over again because I had actually Googled the company looking at the hormone one for a member who had asked about it. And I'm going to get to that in a second too. But this particular one, they just kept saying weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. And I forget what the pill was called, but it was something and get rid of cellulite somehow. And so clicked on it, looked at the ingredients, and it was literally a diuretic. And so looking at the dosing, it was like 3 pills right before you go to bed or something like that. So truly it is, and all the ingredients, just a straight up diuretic without a prescription. And so what's going to happen is you're going to spend the entire night as your body squeezes you like a sponge and it sucks all of this out. Every ounce of water in you, out of your cells, out of everything that you have, is going to take it out of you. And then you're going to pee all night long, or you're going to get up and pee for like 20 minutes solid. And then, of course, you're going to get on the scale, and what's going to happen?
I'm lighter. Well, I'm morning skinny.
I lost weight. And then, of course, your cellulite is going to be less pronounced because you've sucked all the water out of your system. Like it's literally skin on whatever is right underneath that because you have no moisture left. But guess what's going to happen throughout the day?
You're going to drink water.
You're going to drink water. Then you're fucking going to... Okay, punching the sky for those of you who are not.
For our audio only.
For audio only, we are punching the sky because what the fuck? Okay?
That's real.
So, that's really real. Also, after you pee for 20 minutes in the morning, guess how you're going to feel? Like absolute shit. You're probably going to need a freaking like Dramamine. You're going to be sick. You're going to be dizzy.
You're going to have a headache.
You're going to have a headache.
Yeah.
You're going to have cotton mouth. And so you're going to want to drink even more fluids during the day. So what are we doing? And then you take another 3 pills at night. And that, you guys, is marketing evil genius. Because guess who needs to continue to buy these pills over and over again for the rest of their life in order to keep...
Or they won't maintain.
In order to keep gaining the water back and then losing it back again. Okay, I'm just going to take a minute on this, okay? So the supplement, expensive.
Always.
Add that to your line item. Absolute bullshit, okay? Another one that they do is a hormone one. This is the one that this member happened to ask me about. So I asked the member, are your hormones imbalanced? Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, I think so. And I was like, okay, based on, she's like, well, I've got some weight around my stomach I can't lose. I was like, and who told you that was related to your hormones? She was like, well, I mean, I just feel like that's what I always see. And, you know, it's my age and it's probably hormones. I was like, okay. So have you had any blood testing done recently? She was like, no, not in years. I was like, okay. So if you took this, like what hormones does this pill balance?
Hormones.
Oh, I'm not really sure. Okay. So we're going to buy a pill that, again, is very expensive. We're going to put something into our systems that we have no idea what it is. We're going to put something into our systems over and over again, 18 times a day. I don't even know what the ingredients or what this one was, to balance hormones that we don't know are imbalanced.
Or understand. Yeah.
We're going to balance hormones we don't even know what they are. We're going to and again, we haven't done any blood work. We haven't done anything to try to figure this out, but okay. So, but the marketing is genius on this stuff. It will make you try to fix a problem that you don't even know that you have.
Or that you didn't have until the supplement gave you said problem.
Now it is a problem.
Wait, I do have brain fog. Oh my God. Wait, my gut is out of whack. Based off what they just said, that's true about 90% of the people. My gut is fucked.
It's wild. Y'all, it's wild. It's wild. And so that's just an example of like one supplement brand, okay? But there are a crap ton of different supplements within this one brand that, again, if you take a step back and you actually look at it and you dissect it like we just did, hopefully if you're listening to this, and there's probably a good amount of you who have experienced this brand in particular, because they've been going hard on their marketing lately. And again, it's very sneaky because it comes in very like family friendly and sweet. And we've done all the research and we care and all these things. But if you take a second to step back and you dissect it, it should be a little bit of like a, mind-blowing experience to hear that out loud of like, you're right. Like, what am I doing? And so with the one like this, the diuretic, if it's that important for you to lose 5 pounds while you're sleeping every single night just to gain it right back again, then okay, cool, do it. Put it on your line item and make sure you spend $100 every single month and line somebody's pockets who is on a beach in Mexico drinking a margarita right now while you pee for 30 minutes every single morning. Like, make it make sense.
Yeah. So
the marketing tactics, and again, really quick, on that too is the pink tax. Like for those of you who don't know what that is anything that's marketed to women in particular. They will freaking put a pink label on it. They will put a bow on it. They'll put whatever they think women want. They'll put the little peach on there because that's the first thing that women will pick up is anything with a peach on it because we want a booty. And that supplement, especially creatine, this is happening so bad right now with creatine and a lot of proteins like the gummies and stuff like that are becoming big right now. It's the exact same product. It's the exact same product that you could buy at Sam's, at Costco, at Vitamin Shop, whatever, for $14. And because it's got the peach on it and the glitter and the pink, then it is automatically double, if not triple priced. And women love it. And the harsh reality of this, ladies, is that we are not involved in most of this testing. We are not involved in most of the science. Women are just now getting a space like in where they're doing research and trying to see, you know, what type of weightlifting do women actually need to do? What actually is happening during perimenopause and menopause? And how does that fluctuate like with our health and what we need to be doing? A big one that we talked about as a staff, I think it was as a staff, we talked about the ice baths. So it just recently has become a thing where they did the studies on women in ice baths. And for men, it needs to be freezing below freezing because it's like the difference between like a parasympathetic response and a nervous system response. But our bodies are not the same. So women have been getting in these freezing cold baths like men and just jacking their nervous systems completely up because we're not built the same. We're
don't
not
have the same hormones, don't have
body
the same
fat,
body fat,
yes,
like any of that.
The whole thing. And so now the science is showing that women need closer to like a 50-degree bath. That's a huge difference. And we get the same response. It can be a good thing. But before that, we're all getting in these, you know, I'm watching everybody get in these coolers outside and break the ice and get in there. And these women are like
nah. My favorite is taking, you know, the axe out to the lake and, you know, you like cut out a plot for yourself.
And then get in it.
Yeah. And you're like, I'm going to be so tough after this.
It's crazy. I feel so much better. Do you?
Yeah. The science behind ice baths is also like there's benefits to it, but unless you know why you're getting in an ice bath and that it'll do the specific benefit for you that you're looking for, don't just get in an ice bath because you saw it on social media.
Yeah.
If you're trying to build muscle, ice baths can be a hurtful thing because they heal the muscles before they can even grow from the hypertrophy, right? If you're a college football guy and you have another practice in the evening, you need to dunk your ass in the ice so you can recover fast enough to perform well again.
Yes.
If you're working out in 2 days and trying to build muscle, you don't need an ice bath and it could be counterproductive.
100%.
Yeah.
And especially, and again, for women, it's not just the muscle part, but it's also our nervous system.
Yeah.
It totally jacks your nervous system. And so, so we have not been a real part of the conversation forever. And so now we're finally starting to see some of that, but the science isn't out there yet. We don't really know, like every study that's been done and every test that's been done for the gross majority of things is based on men. And so this idea that we have special products out there for us is already sus. And so you should be looking at it. I said this in another podcast, and call me a cynic, but I literally live my life as like, you're guilty until proven innocent. Like in this health and fitness world, I 100% am side-eyeing you forever until I see or know or somebody can prove that what you're selling me is real. It's true. It's doing what you actually said it was doing. And so that's the thing with the pink tax is like, ladies, just be aware that if it has, you know, a pink cupcake and unicorn and princess and whatever else on it, if Taylor Swift herself is on it, it does not matter. Okay. It's just for the price. And I'm saying that to myself because if Taylor Swift was on it, I'd probably buy it. Okay.
That's true.
Now if the proceeds go to her or, you know, Children's Hospital or something like that, go for it. But otherwise, if it's just Vitamin Shop making it, you're getting duped. Okay. All right. So next one, and I'm going to pass the ball to Shamar on this one. Fat burners.
Fat burners.
Yeah. Talk to us about fat burners. And
so, I mean, fat burners, there's some science to them, but a lot of the science is kind of similar to the diuretic situation. It's going to increase metabolism for a certain percentage of time through certain ingredients or thermogenics or whatever it is, but it's not a prolonged experience, right? You'll experience half the time, like your body will get hot, like these ingredients in there will make you feel physically warm because your body is trying to heat up to increase the process of burning calories more quickly. But the more you burn calories, the more hungry you're going to be. And on average, you're going to retake those calories in later in the day. You're not actually burning long-term fat. You're burning some calories more quickly than you would, but that's not the same as really getting long-term fat off your body.
Absolutely.
So, and it's like she's been saying about just, it's there to make you buy it. Like, you didn't think you needed a fat burner until you saw that there were fat burners, right? You probably thought that I need to exercise, or I need to watch what I eat, or, you probably thought these things until you saw, but wait, you actually just need to take this pill, right?
Yeah.
So if it feels like it's too good to be true, if it feels like everybody else is having to do this hard thing for months at a time to get the goal that you want, that the pill is promising you in 3 weeks, I think everybody would be on the pill, right? That's like the ashwagandha thing that was so big over quarantine.
Yeah.
It was, especially for like boys, and it was all over TikTok, and this and that is going to, juice up your test, and you're going to be in a good mood, and you're going to have extra libido and energy and this and that. And some people saw these benefits, some people saw negatives, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be sure of not only the ingredients of what you're taking, but the quality of the ingredients, right? Because getting something from Vitamin Shop and getting something from some gas station are not the same, right? Like, there's all sorts of supplements that you can just see, like in that little glass case on the gas station thing, right? And some of those are fat burners. Some of those are, energizers. They're like 12 hours of energy in this capsule. Like, what is that? Probably nothing you need, right? So,
and so many things are white labeled too.
Yeah.
So I listen, I'm calling people out on this one, and so buckle up. If you belong to a gym, or you're following somebody online, and they are creating their own supplements. Okay. And again, this is a generalization. There is a small percentage of people that this is not applying to, because they are actually creating their own supplements.
Or at least doing their own dosing, their own, recipe, things like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the reality is, especially if it's a broad range of supplements, that is expensive. That is really expensive. You cannot just be any Joe Blow and go get your own supplement line made. Like, it is extremely expensive. But what is not expensive is finding somebody who already has a supplement line, and they are willing to have you pay a fee to what's called white label it. And so the amount, since I've become a gym owner, the amount of people in my DMs trying to sell me white label supplements, and they're all the same. It's the same pre-workout. It's the same. And they will send you testimonials. They will send you every gym that is already doing it. They will send you they don't care. They're going to throw every single person under the bus. And there are people locally that I know for a fact are doing the exact same thing. And again, it is what it is. But if you've got folks who are trying to make you believe that this is some special supplement line that you helped design, and the key phrase is always, I've always hated what's in all these other, supplements, so I'm working on my own, and da-da-da-da-da. It is just the same. Again, if it's some millionaire or somebody who, does really well, and it's a fitness professional who's been around a long time, then yes, they probably are doing some type of, but if it is, just kind of like your regular Joe Blow type, they are getting something white labeled and putting their name on it and trying to convince people that theirs is better or different or whatever. So you just have to be super aware of that. It's very, very easy. And again, when it comes to things like fat burners, that's a struggle, because fat burners, like Shamar said, they're sold to you. If I have to look at it and, like I'm sitting here looking at, okay, I've got to lift weights and do cardio and, eat well for 6 months in order to burn fat, or I can take this pill, I'm 100% going to pick the pill if I'm not somebody who wants to get in the gym. And so that's the too good to be true part of it. And a lot of times, though, people will have some results on these fat burners because the physiological response that your body is having that Shamar is talking about.
Effects, and it will at least momentarily, kind of like the HIIT stuff, right? Like, if you're moving and your body is, moving, and after you work out, your metabolism is increased for a while, and you're just going to burn calories for a while after the fact. But that's kind of what this pill gives you a false sense of, right? It essentially heats up your body into fooling your body into being at a high enough temperature, high enough intensity to start the process of fat burning and calorie burning, but it's not true and it's not going to last.
Yes. So, and in that process, it makes you feel less hungry, right? Because it's getting your body, like it's giving you extra energy. It's like now some of them are a little more nervous system response. Some of them are a little more cardiac
and like
system
it depends
response.
on if they're either caffeinated or not. Some have like a hunger deterrent. Some just kind of curb your hunger.
Yes, but the overall result is pretty much the same, is that it's going to amp you up enough. It's going to make you feel like you had some coffee, which we all know a lot of the time when coffee is used in those ways is to keep you from eating as much, and it's to mask your hunger and to give you fake energy for the entire day. And that's what a fat burner is going to do. So then by the end of the day, you've gone through the day and you've been amped up. And like, if you drank coffee with it, you're probably like hulked out and doing all kinds of crazy stuff all day. But then the second you stop taking those, guess what? We're back to reality and your body is starving.
Yeah. And you're going to have no energy.
None.
Because caffeine does not fuel your body the same way that food does, right? Yep. Food actually gives your body energy because it burns through it and uses it as fuel. Caffeine is an inhibitor in your brain that does not allow you to get tired, or it doesn't allow you to go to sleep.
Yep.
Like it doesn't really, like it speeds up your heart and does all this, but the caffeine binds to your brain and it's like, nope. Like even if you are tired, it just will not let you fall asleep.
Yep. 100%. So it's like a medication almost in a lot of ways. And so again, with the fat burners, it's one of those things that's like on some level, is it maybe kind of doing that? And on some level, will you burn fat because you're not eating as much? And the initial response for your body is going to be to hold on to body fat, right? If you're taking in too few calories, your body's going to hold on to body fat and it's going to burn lean muscle first, because that's just like the famine mode that your body goes into. But eventually your body will give up on that and it will start burning fat. It has to. But that's where that comes in, is like, okay, so it will eventually start burning fat because you're not eating as much. You're probably expending more because the thermogenesis is going to make you like move more and do more and be more active, just because you can't not. Again, you want to like hulk out a lot of times. I'm super sensitive to these things. So back in the day, all of these things that we're going to talk about, I've done every single one of them. Every single one of them numerous times. So this is not me just talking like out of my ass because I don't like these things now. It's literally, I've tried every single thing out there when I was at my most disordered. And so fat burners is one of them that we went ham on a lot. And this was when we first took over I first took over the franchise, we used to do challenge groups and take these fat burners. Kat was talking about them in her thing. She was big into the fat burners at her most disordered because it literally just kept you from eating. Yeah. And so then but then the second you come off of them, it is that half-life wears off, and then all of a sudden you're like, I can't stop eating. I'm so hungry all the time. And then the panic sets in because you're like, oh my God, now all I want to do is eat, and eating is bad, and I don't want to do that. So it becomes like this roller coaster of like, well, should I get back on the fat burners? Well, I feel like shit when I'm on the fat burners. Like, I don't want to do that. And so it's just this roller coaster that you don't even need to start in the first place. I am not a huge fan of those things. And I just think that they're crazy.
No, they're super insane. If you don't ever have to take a fat burner, I would, recommend that you never do. And you shouldn't ever have to. If you're recommended a supplement by a medical professional that should aid you in weight loss, maybe so. But if you're buying from a gas station, a random MLM, some white label situation, I would avoid the fat burners as much as you can.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I think you wanted to talk about some creatine, right? The GOAT of supplements?
Yes, let's talk. Okay, but first, before we do that one, let's very briefly, because this is something that you and I could get into a lot. And this is not necessarily a supplement, but it's the question I think I probably get the most right now, is the injections. Okay. So this is not necessarily considered a supplement, but maybe. I think the line is getting very blurred. Yeah. It's, if you're on Instagram, social media in general, like the memes are even out there of like, some of my favorite memes are like this and a Diet Coke. And it's like a picture of like a beautiful beach, or like this and a margarita, or like a bookstore and a chai tea. And now it's like this and my Ozempic shot. Like, it's like becoming almost just this thing that we like carry around in our purse, and we take it out and it's like cute and trendy and whatever. And so I do want to talk just briefly about this. And again, you guys, what I want y'all to understand first and foremost is that you have autonomy to do whatever it is that you want to do. Okay. And you have discernment to do whatever it is that you want to do. And we are never, ever, ever at Rebel Fitness going to shame you for any choice that you make. What we are going to do is educate the living crap out of you. And that's going to be based on what we know from science, based on what we know from our own personal experiences. So if you decide to go down the path of doing a weight loss injection of some kind, you don't ever have to feel like, well, I can't go to Rebel and I can't talk to them about that because they're anti-diet culture and they're anti-losing weight and they're anti. You don't have to worry about that, okay? You've got to make a decision that is best for you. We always, always recommend that you do that, you know, along with help, medical professionals, somebody like us. We would love to help just because we can give you some insight on some things. But that's kind of what I want to do right now is just give the blanket. This is what you need to be aware of, and this is what is going to happen when you're on this shot, because there are ways that you can do this shot and totally fuck yourself. Totally. You're going to totally jack your metabolism. You're going to totally jack your body composition. You're going to totally jack yourself mentally. And then you're going to come off of this shot because this is not a lifetime thing. I mean, maybe some people can do it, but it's expensive. But you're going to mess yourself up. And then you're going to be right back to where you started, probably a worse off place. And there's a way that you can do it where you can mitigate a lot of the risk. You can take control of it and you can do it well and potentially have some long-term results from it. So the main thing that we want to discuss in here is the physical part of it. So the whole idea of the shot is that it is going to slow your guts down. Yeah,
because it's a GLP-1, right? So that's a naturally occurring hormone that we all have. Kind of like we normally eat protein, we normally take in creatine. So most supplements are already things that naturally occur within the body, and you may just need some more, right? So the GLP-1s are the naturally occurring hormones that signal to the brain when you're no longer hungry. So I'm midway through a meal, 3/4 of the way through a meal, whatever, my GLP-1s are going to start kind of churning and be like, hey, you're getting full. You're not hungry, or you're getting full, whatever it is, right? Yeah. So then the shot is just a burst of fake or falsified hormones. Yeah. So it just curbs your hunger unnaturally, right?
Right.
So
and I think it like slows down your stomach a little bit too.
So the digestion slows down. You can sit on the same food for days or weeks at a time, which based off certain stories.
And that too is why the nausea and the stomach aches and things like that
or the bad breath that
like
some people
like a major side effect. So the thing that you've got to be aware of in this is that you're going to cut your calorie intake down significantly because you're just not hungry. And so a big part of the sell on this is that it's going to shut off your brain from food. And
your cravings.
And this is where if you've never experienced like an eating disorder, if you have never experienced that in your life, there is a food noise that is so real. And you go to bed with it, you wake up to it, you're eating breakfast thinking about lunch, you're eating lunch thinking about dinner, you're thinking about every calorie, you're thinking about every store you pass, you're thinking about every smell, you're thinking about every single thing, the next diet you should be on. Everything revolves around food. Like what's logged in my MyFitnessPal? Can I fit this food in today? There's a food noise situation that is totally psychological. And so when you are not hungry, like that is real. And that is the thing that nausea automatically will bring on. Like I had that when I was pregnant with all 3 of my kids. I didn't think about food for 3 solid months with all of them because I was so sick. I never thought about it. And so those were pretty much the only times in my, whole span of like disordered eating disorder days where I could actually breathe. I felt like shit, but I wasn't thinking about food. So it was like a nice, relaxing time for me. But that is a big part of this is like shutting off the food noise and not being hungry, not eating, having to like potentially set alarms to eat and stuff like that because you're not thinking about it. But while you're doing that, again, what we talked about earlier is like your body's going to kind of go into that starvation mode, caveman mode, like whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. Your body will start storing fat and burning lean muscle, just because naturally, biologically, it's trying to save you. Like it doesn't know, your body doesn't know the difference between the Ozempic shot and famine, you know? And so it was designed to save you. And so it's going to start burning lean muscle, and it's going to start storing fat. And we see this in real time. We have members at our gym who are on injections, and we can see it on the in-body where their body fat percentage is skyrocketing and their muscle mass is going down. They're losing weight 100%, but they are losing muscle mass. And so they're going to become skinny fat on that trend. Okay. So the other thing psychologically it's doing to you is making you feel like food is not an issue anymore. So if you are a person who struggles with binging or shame spiraling, or any of those disordered things, it feels like you're cured. It feels like you're not having to, worry about that anymore, deal with that anymore. But the reality is just like the fat burners, the second you come off of it,
it's back times 2. And the problem with these is they can then, inhibit the natural production of those hormones once you come off of them. The same way that a lot of men that go on testosterone, whether it's a huge steroid type of dose or just a TRT healthy amount of dose, they will forever have to be on testosterone because their body goes, it's a lot easier to just get this than make it. So if you're going to give it to me, I'm just not going to make it, right? And that's essentially what the body does with a lot of things. If you're injecting the body or giving it certain things, it's just not going to produce them naturally. That's why you have like the shrinkage when you're on testosterone or on steroids, because you no longer are producing it naturally. And the GLP-1s can do that same thing. So when you come off, not only do you not have the assistance of that to make you not hungry, but your hunger cues, that noise may even be louder.
Yeah, absolutely. And so those are the two main things that we see are happening, is that, body composition, your metabolism is crashing because again, if you listen to your podcast, which you should be, your metabolism is based on the amount of muscle that you have. So if you are losing muscle at a significant rate and your body fat is skyrocketing, your metabolism is getting flipped. And psychologically, you think you're cured, but I promise you're not. And so the second you go off of a drug like this, body cannot maintain that weight loss because your metabolism is trashed. And so it will immediately start trying to go back to homeostasis, which was your weight before.
And then genetic set point. All of our bodies have, and it can change and it can, kind of sway over time, but your body has a 5 to 7 pound range where it wants to be. If it feels like, I just can't lose weight past this, right? Like for a lot of guys, it's I just can't gain weight past this number. You're probably at or very close to your genetic set point. And for a lot of people, that's okay.
Exactly. And it's really hard to accept that truth though, because again, we're inundated with this. This is what the girl should look like. This is what the guy should look like. This is what the girls, and so we are always fighting this instead of just being like, hey, this is who I am. This is how I am. Be as healthy as I can in this body
just like
that
your
I was
height,
given.
Right, your height is completely out of your control. Your weight is more so in your control than your height. But just like your genetics and your parents and your upbringing play a big role in your height, your weight, your genetic set point, all these things come from genetics. It's not just I want to be this, so I will be like. Just like you're not just 6'4" because you want to be 6'4", even if you eat all your vegetables when you grow up, right?
That's right.
That's how it goes.
I love that. So with the shot, it is, so what we've seen the most success with in our clients who are doing this is very, very low dose, like minimal dose of this, of the injection, and then making sure that they are lifting, like always progressively overloading, always lifting, doing not a ton of cardio just because there's not going to be a ton of cardio. Like you don't need to burn more calories.
You're only doing your cardio for the health benefits, right? The heart, the lungs, things like that. But you no longer need the supplemental calorie burn.
And making sure too that they are eating enough. And again, that's what comes with the making sure that the minimal dose is followed, because if you continue to up this dose, you're going to get to the point where you're not eating anything and you're not even going to be able to work out. You're going to crap out. You're not going to have enough energy to be able to do any of that. And then again, not enough calories is eventually going to start shutting down other things. So a lot of people are seeing hair loss with this situation, issues with sleep, issues with other organ functioning, because your body just doesn't have what it needs to be able to do all the things. And so it is eventually going to be like, okay, we got to start picking and choosing. The other thing is chronic constipation is happening a lot with this. And chronic constipation, you guys, brings a myriad of issues with it. That it can throw off your hormones. It can throw off skin issues, hair issues, the brain fog situation. I mean, you think, again, being backed up in that system.
Because your gut controls so much of your body.
No bueno.
No idea.
Yeah. So that would be the only thing, again, I would say about that one is be really educated. I think it's unfortunate. We've got a lot of healthcare professionals out there who are just prescribing this. And people come in and are like, I'm desperate, I'm sad, I don't know what to do. And it's like, yes, let's do this. But there is zero education. Right. There is no talking about anything, making sure that you're prioritizing protein, you're getting enough protein, you're still lifting weights to maintain that lean muscle, and that you have somebody, again, like us, where we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it on an in-body. We're going to walk with you every step of the way just to make sure that you're not doing more damage. And I have 100% had clients who are like, listen, I know how you feel about this, but I'm going on it. I have coached them the best I possibly could through it. And they have watched their muscle mass tank to the point that they were like, you know what, you were right. I don't want to do this anymore. Right. And they stop. So
it's just always considering the fact that, one, this was a medication made for something else that they have now repackaged for something else, and that there are now real diabetic people that are no longer able to get their prescription filled because of the overutilization of this injection for the wrong reasons, right? So that's something to consider if you're looking to go on the biggest dose possible or up your dose. Maybe think about doing the natural way a little bit more. Yeah. And also try to have a medical team that's really with you in this, right? Like do therapy in conjunction with this. So if you come off of this and your mental health starts to tank as you see some weight come back up or whatever it is, you need to be talking to someone. And you also need to be talking to someone about why the food noise was loud enough for you to feel like you had to go on an injection, right? Yes. And if you had to go on the injection, then you should talk to your medical professional about getting hormone testing, right? There's all these different things that you need to be doing in conjunction, because if you're just taking it, just getting skinny and being like, cool, but have no idea what's going on internally, you could be doing far more harm than good. Yeah.
And especially, again, if you're taking it to get skinny, when you come off of it, you are 100% that's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. And so that's the same thing I say to everybody too, is you have to get therapy alongside of it. You have to, especially if it's coming from, again, a place of you're having a hard time stopping eating, you're binging, you've got the hiding in the car, eating type vibe going on. If you have an actual diagnosed eating disorder, there should be no possible way that you're doing this. But at this point, you never know. You just never know. And so anyway, that's our spiel about that one. Again, it's so heavy right now, you guys. It's not going anywhere. It's only going to get bigger. It's just, it's just the way it is. So if you have questions or anything about that, or if that's something that you're struggling with, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, even on social media. If you're listening to this and you're not local, but you want some advice, we do coaching, like online coaching, where we can help you from afar and help you find a space that you could do maybe some in-body testing, give you some ideas on how to maintain and things that we've seen success with. Because again, we want you to be successful. We want you to make your own decisions, have your own bodily autonomy, but we want you to take really good care of yourself, because again, skinny is not the answer. We're telling you, it's not the answer in any way, shape, or form. Okay. Okay. Last thing we're going to talk about is our favorites, because we have to end on something good. So Shamar and I have like our top three. They're pretty similar. So we're going to start with the first top two. So talk to us about creatine. We love creatine.
Yeah. So creatine is studied through and through. It's been around for years. There's really no negatives on creatine unless you have a specific genetic, ability to hold on to more water than average when you take creatine. But the average person is going to see increases in strength and muscle mass, also endurance and performance, as well as cognitive function, especially in the older population. So if you're below 40 and taking creatine, expect to notice more of the physical benefits, the energy, the muscle mass, the growth, the strength. If you're past 40, past 50, expect to just have better maintenance, right? Have a maintenance of muscle energy throughout the day, less brain fog and cognitive function. So creatine is just through and through studied. It's naturally occurring. So if you're eating enough meat, chicken, beef, there's creatine that naturally occurs in those things. So it is a supplement for that reason. If you can naturally get your creatine, you're good. If you're a little bit short, then I would definitely take it.
Yeah. Harrison was just telling me something interesting the other day in the gym too. He read a study where they did a little bit of a megadose of creatine, and it was helping significantly with sleep.
Yeah.
So always stuff coming out. I remember when creatine first came out and everybody was really afraid of it because it was like, is this like a steroid? Is this like nobody really knew? So it's really cool now to see how amazing it is. They're serving it up in nursing homes and assisted living homes because it is so helpful for the cognitive and again, keeping that, bone density and strength and things like that in folks. So creatine is our top.
Yeah, there's really no side effects. If you do hold on to a little bit of water, you can try a different brand. You could try some additional cardio in, conjunction, but
it'll go away.
The benefits far outweigh any negatives with creatine.
Yeah. I've never seen it not go away sometimes because it's just the way, like what it's doing on a cellular level.
Yeah, it's just bringing more water to the muscles, which is why the muscles get the strength engagement and they get the better, endurance. They have the better performance because they're more hydrated. But that can just look like a little bit puffy at the beginning for certain individuals.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. So creatine, golden, do the creatine. And we love, there's a bunch of different brands out there, you guys. But again, you can buy you can buy creatine at Costco now. You can buy creatine at Sam's Club.
You want creatine monohydrate
I was just gonna say,
most of the time. Like there's other creatines out there, but creatine monohydrate is the most studied and just known to be extremely beneficial.
Yes. And I think it's the one that typically has the least amount of side effects also. So, but we love Thorne. That's it's a really easy, again, it's no taste. You can add creatine to anything, literally, and just sip on it. Add it to a little mineral mocktail, add it to your water in the morning and just chug it like a supplement. But the thing about creatine is you want to take it daily because you want to keep it in your system. So that's the only thing. If you have a really hard time taking supplements, and they have gummies now and all kinds of stuff.
You can take creatine capsules if you don't like the powder situation.
Yeah. So lots of options. Creatine, 2 thumbs up always. The second one is a really great protein. Yeah. So talk to us about protein, Shamar.
So protein, just like we've talked about before, is naturally occurring, which is why it is a supplement. If you can get all of your protein through whole food sources, meat, chicken, fish, eggs, some of your vegetables, things like that, beans, that's what you would rather do. But whatever protein you're not hitting towards your goal, you'd want to supplement that. The highest quality of protein is normally going to be a whey protein isolate, just because it comes from the highest form of whey protein, which is faster digesting than a casein, which is a slow digesting protein. So if you can find a good whey protein isolate, that's always what we recommend. You want to stay away from a proprietary blend of proteins. If it's on the back and it's some whey, some soy, some whatever, you want to avoid that, and you want to just have really clean, high quality whey protein isolate.
Absolutely.
And that can come from anywhere. Like you were saying before, Sam's Club, Vitamin Shop, there's a ton of great flavors. You can get like clear protein, or you can get, flavorless protein if that works better for you. But same deal, 2 thumbs up. Try to get most of your protein through a whole food source, but the powders, the whatever, are a great, great supplement.
Yeah. And do your best, something that we try not to get too much into, but I feel like it needs to be said. Try not to OD on like the already pre-made, like Premier Proteins and my God, freaking Muscle Milks and Lean Body, whatever. They are just, the amount of ingredients in those things are out of control.
A lot of preservatives and things that you just don't quite understand.
It's just, you just don't know. It's like, and again, I don't like getting into like if you can't pronounce it, don't drink it, because that's bullshit. But some of those, the list is like this long, and they also taste like crap. Yeah. Nobody is going to make me believe that anybody likes to drink lean body protein or muscle milk protein. It's just like, I drank it for years, and I drank one the other day and was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, this is disgusting. Like, deep in disorder to feel like that was good. But same thing with the snacks, right? Like, you guys, I talk a lot of smack on protein Pop-Tarts. But it's because, like, those things are a disrespect to Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
They really are. Pop-Tarts are, like, the best. And when you try to take a food like that and shove a bunch of protein into it, you're just disrespecting it. I'm not a big cookie girl. I'm not a big brownie girl, so I don't care. Disrespect those all you want to, and they are doing that.
And it's also harder to have things like that still have a good macronutrient breakdown.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
The cookies. That cookie brand is stupid.
Lenny and Larry's.
Oh my God. The amount of calories in one of those stupid cookies.
It's like 330 for like 15 grams.
Have 5 regular cookies and a piece of string cheese, people, and keep it moving. Like,
so
it's crazy.
If you are looking at the protein snacks, some protein powders, you want to make sure that you're getting lean protein and not, a mass gainer type of effect. So you want to make sure your protein rating is about 1 gram of protein per 10 calories on average if you want it to be a like densely packed protein snack. So if it's 200 calories for average, you want to have 20 grams of protein in it, right? If it's 150 calories, 15 grams of protein. If you do better than that, that's phenomenal. Like 130 calories for 17 grams of protein, even better. But about 1 to 10 is going to confirm that you're not just getting too many calories for it to be worth the amount of protein that you're intaking.
Yeah.
Like peanut butter, for instance.
Yes.
A tablespoon of peanut butter is sold as a great protein source, but 76% of the calories in peanut butter are from fat.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think when it comes to like a lot of those protein snacks, like the Pop-Tarts, the cookies, the shakes that are all kinds of like pre-made shakes that are different flavors, it's like this feeling of like it's a treat, right? And so again, if that's the direction you're going with that and you're picking up one of those cookies at the grocery store thinking, ooh, this is going to be my treat because I'm on a diet or I'm trying to get my protein in, but you don't realize that you could eat regular cookies and then have something like, again, a piece of string cheese and a handful of nuts and have the same protein content. And then actually have good tasting cookies and also not pay $9 or whatever stupidity you're paying for those things. I think, again, that's something that is very helpful for people. But what Shamar said, make sure that you're getting it from whole sources as much as humanly possible. If you got to eat a bar every once in a while, you've got to eat a freaking protein Pop-Tart, then you should be studied. But also do that if you've got to every once in a while, but it should not be the main source. The best way, again, in our opinion too, is just the shake. The shake can even be, you can make it fancy. You can put it in coffee. I use unflavored protein for everything. Literally, I am obsessed with it. I put it in absolutely everything almost that I bake. I put it in dips that I buy from the grocery store. Stir it up, put it back in there. I put it in my iced tea and lemonades that I make in the afternoon, and I dump that in there and stir it up. You can't even tell. It tastes amazing, and it's a quick way to get 20 grams of protein as I'm just sipping my drink. So keep with the good whole parts of it if you can, but every once in a while, get it some other way. So the last one for me, we like top 3, for me would be a fiber supplement, and I'll let you tell what yours is. But 90% of people are not getting enough fiber. And it's just, again, it's one of those things like protein. It's going to help keep you full. It's going to keep all the body parts, the internal organs moving correctly. It's going to help you feel better. It's going to help with your gut biome and all those things. And again, most people just are not even getting remotely enough. And so that would be my top 3 for a new client coming in, or anybody really, would be the creatine, the protein. And then if you feel like they are way low on fiber, and that's going to be something that's going to take them a minute to get caught up with, I would have them do a really low-key fiber supplement, and then that would be my top 3. So what would be your last one? My
last one kind of depends on the client and if they more so need help with sleeping and getting their rest, or coming in and having enough energy and focus to do their workout. So if you're looking for more rest on average and some extra relaxation, I always recommend a magnesium supplement. If it's harder for you to fall asleep, you have headaches, you have anything like that, magnesium at night can be great. You wake up feeling super solid with no hangover like you will for something like melatonin or anything like that. Yes. And then if you are fine at going to sleep at night, but waking up you're super groggy, it's hard for you to get into the gym, hard for you to get focused to do your workout, I would recommend a pre-workout supplement. So whether it's caffeinated, moderately caffeinated, or non-caffeinated, they just have helpers for focus, for pump, for energy, things like that. So when you're walking into the gym, you feel like you're getting the most out of it. I also think that routine and just having like some rituals is very, very effective. So for me, waking up in the morning and I don't want to go and I don't want to get up, at least I get to drink my blue raspberry pre-workout that I've always enjoyed, right? Or if I'm switching it up for the day, the gummy worm pre-workout. Like it's already in my fridge. It's cold. I shook it up the night before. I can just grab it and I can sip it. Or if I didn't do that, God forbid I do a dry scoop every once in a while, but it tastes good enough to go down and I am out that door and I'm getting it done, right? So if you need that little boost in the morning, I recommend a pre-workout. Make sure you're not overdoing it. You know how much caffeine is in it. And if you know, make sure you're addressing that the rest of the day and not overdoing the caffeine intake. And if you need help on sleep, relaxation, anything like that, I would recommend magnesium.
Yeah, magnesium's a huge one for me too. And be aware that there's lots of different kinds of magnesium. So some of it's trash. Glycinate is what you need for relaxation. It's really good for muscle soreness, but glycinate is also just the most bioavailable. So it's the one, magnesium is the first mineral burned off in our stress response. And so most people, we are chronically as a society low on minerals, but definitely on magnesium because we live in such a high stress world. And so doing a magnesium supplement in some way, whether it's a powder, I have the spray, so I do the oil because my shoulder's always hurting. I typically will do it there, do it on the bottom of your feet at night, like Shamar said. The glycinate is the best one, or it might say biglycinate on it. And then the citrate is the second most popular one just because it's for, it's called Calm is what the big brand is that does it, but that's the one that helps keep you regular and all those things too. But definitely magnesium. Anything that's going to help with supplementation of minerals in general is going to be really, really good for you. But magnesium is definitely top tier.
And that's not us demonizing the rest of supplements. That's not us saying that these are the best 3, best 4 that you have to be taking. But if you are going to take a supplement, something off this list that we recommended, I would say is your best bet. And I would avoid, the fat burners, the trendy things, the MLMs that are just coming at you with the big detox that lose 12 pounds in 3 days. That's all doo-doo. I'm sorry about it. It's all doo-doo. It's coming right back.
And again, it's most of the time it's so expensive. That's always the red flag that I tell people is like, just look at the cost. It's like, because again, with certain places that are selling things, there is an upcharge. There is a taxation on that, if you will. And so a lot of the time they'll try to preach that because there's something else in it, or it's more bioavailable, or it's da-da-da, and that's not always the case. So be aware that if something is priced really, really, really high, that there's a good chance that there's something else happening with it, because most of the time you can find that somewhere else at a reasonable cost. Also, just be aware that a lot of supplements out there, they're not going to be actually therapeutic dose. So Google that also. So like Siri chat can tell you whatever you need to know about that. So like some for example, collagen, how do I know collagen is going to be bioavailable? Number one, and how is it going to be at a therapeutic dose to even make a difference? Or am I just drinking this just to drink it because it's cute and it has a peach on it? Okay. So make sure that you're looking that stuff up as well. A lot of supplements have a therapeutic dose. If you're not even getting close to that, then there's literally no point in taking it.
And that's why you just have to be super careful of those proprietary blends, right? Like I mentioned with the protein, you want whey protein isolate, not a blend of proteins.
Yes, absolutely. So much nuance out there. We hope that this helped to just narrow it down. Again, at the end of the day, we want you guys to be able to breathe on this. Like you look at the stuff, you Google health and fitness supplements. Oh my Jesus, you'll lose your mind. So cut the crap, get down to what will actually make a difference, but also know that if you're not doing just the basics, if you're not moving your body and you're not exercising, if you're not drinking enough water, if you're not getting good sleep, if you're not trying to prioritize whole, healthy foods for yourself, no amount of supplementation is going to help you. I'm sorry to break this to you, but the hydrogenated whatever CO2 water and the, whatever other crazy powders and, I can't even think of any of the
greens powders. And,
it's not going to make a difference at all. So focus on what you need to be focused on And then you can look at the supplementation to help be exactly what that is, which is supplementation. Okay. So we hope that this was helpful for you guys. If you want us ever to review any other supplements, or you guys have questions about products or food things or anything like that you see, do not hesitate to get on our social media and send us a little message. We will always review stuff. We do a lot of that for our current members now, and we would be happy to do it for the podcast as well. And then, as always, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and then follow the podcast. Please continue, you guys, to download and give us a review and share it with people who you think would benefit from this. The feedback from the podcast has been absolutely unbelievable. We cannot thank you guys enough. This is our passion, obviously, and we're so glad that it's reaching so many people. That's all we wanted. So thank you guys so much again, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Really hurt some people's feelings. So if you're a little sensitive, you might as well turn this joint off right now. Okay?